So what we learned over here is like this. We learned about a boat and a sea. The question is, a sea is a carmelis. From where do you measure it? From the bed or from the surface? L'maynaf kemina, higher than 10 tfachim is a makim tur. Where is that higher than 10 tfachim? From the bed or from the surface? And therefore, if you're on a boat, is there an issue of drawing water from the sea? The sea will definitely be the place that you're drawing from will be higher than 10 tfachim from the ground because you're in a boat, and even the edge of the boat, they never bring to a place which is less than 10 tfachim from the ground. So even the water you're drawing is higher than 10 tfachim. You're drawing just from a makim p'tur. You'll only need to make a ledge to remind you, not to compare it to other cases. That's Rav Huna's opinion. However, Rav Chisda and Rav Huna say, no, we measure the carmelis from the surface. And therefore, it's very possible that you're drawing here from something which is less than 10 tfachim. Or not very possible. For sure, you're drawing from less than 10 tfachim. And you might not even be passing it through higher than 10 tfachim. Depends on how high your boat is. And therefore, you're not allowed to draw water unless you make a box. When it's a box, it's as if you're drawing from Rosh Hashanah. Now, even according to Rav Chisda and Rav Huna, there's an issue of drawing from the sea. You're still allowed to pour out dirty water, pouring it on the wall of the boat, because it's an indirect act, it's an indirect effect. Anything indirect by Carmelis, they weren't goyzer. The fact you're moving something from Rosh Hashanah to a Carmelis indirectly with one stop in the middle, even a stop that doesn't even last over there, but it's going to go through something. They weren't goyzer in a case of need, and therefore you're allowed to pour this out to the Carmelis on the ledge. And we brought a raya from Rabbi Yehuda the Tana, which says exactly that. The Mishnah before that spoke about a puddle of water, which when people walk, the road walks through it, it's considered Rishus Harabim, although there's water, although it's an uncomfortable usage. Only walking we count as the public using it, although it's uncomfortable. Any other usage that's in storing things will not be considered a public usage if it's uncomfortable. Now, the Mishnah mentions, that's because the Mishnah mentioned twice the idea of walking through. The Mishnah mentioned twice the puddle. There's different opinions why the Mishnah mentioned twice the puddle. Either to include summer and winter, which each has a reason why I would think people would not walk through it. In the summer, you're clean, and in the winter, you're cold, so you might not walk through it. You say, no, we still walk through it. Or it's coming to include a very long puddle, which you might think people will walk around it, or it's coming to include a very small puddle, which you might think people will jump over it. In all of these cases, we say that it's still considered Rishus Harabim.